Hi everyone. In this video, important points, we'll see about the topic for the Jan 18th date, biomechanics, disinfection and obturation. So this is our timetable for the week. We are heading on the second day of our preparation. So biomechanics, disinfection and obturation, you should read about all the topics right from the endodontic instrument. This is quite an important topic because of more number of chances for getting an image based MCQ. So you have a lot of latest advances happening here. So any image based instrument, any latest instrument can come as an image based MCQ. So no need to know about the mechanism of each and every instrument or a gadget, but you should at least find out what it is. If they show an image of it, you should be able to find out what that instrument is. So starting from the endodontic instrument, you have generations of endodontic instrument. You have four groups of it. So you should be aware of that and what all comes under each group. And you should know about the basic difference between a file and a reamer. A file will have more number of flutes, that is the distance between the flutes will be very short, which means it is used for shaping action, whereas reamer will exactly look like a file but the flutes will be spaced apart, which means the distance between each flute in a file is quite large. Because of that reason, reamers can have more cutting action compared to a file. So that is a basic difference between them. Then you have the group 2 of endodontic instrument, which includes the Gates, Glidden and piezo. Very important question from the image based and MCQ point of view. So you should know what is what and how does it look and how to identify the number and the diameter of a Gates Glidden or a piezo from the image itself. So you should be in a position to find out what it is and how it is and what is the diameter of each. Then you should know little bit about the rotary instrument, what are the generations of it, and the Pro Taper comes under which generation, Pro Taper Gold comes under which generation, what is self-adjusting file and what is wave 1 and wave gold. So if you know about that, that is enough. Then lastly, just go through what is a sonic instrument and what is an ultrasonic instrument and where all it is used. So now under the file, you don't need to know much about file. So whatever I have explained about the K file and reamer, little bit, just a brush up about the cross section of it and how the blank looks. Just keep in mind, all the blanks will be either square or triangular in case of a K file, whereas in H file the blank will be round. And under the cross section, if you see, the H file cross section is very typical. It is called as single helix teardrop cross section. So that is typical for H file, whereas the unifile and S file, they are just modifications of H file, and the cross section for that is a double helix cross section. So if you see in the image, you have a square cross section and a triangle cross section and a rhomboidal cross section, whereas for H file it is single helix teardrop and for unifile and S file it is double helix cross section. Then about the Gates Glidden and piezo, this is how the instrument looks like. Gates Glidden will be very shorter and the tip is a non-cutting tip, and Gates Glidden is mainly used for removing the lingual shoulder and widening the canal, whereas for piezo it is used for post space preparation. And Gates Glidden has a very narrow neck. It is used as a safety purpose so that in case if it fractures at the neck. And then you should know the diameter from where it starts. So if you know from where it starts, it is very easy. You have to just add on every 0.2 mm for every size increase from 1 to 6. So Gates Glidden starts with 0.5, whereas piezo starts with 0.7. So how you remember is, according to the alphabetical order, from after G goes P, so you take it as 0.5 then 0.7, then you can easily remember. So your first instrument will have one ring, the second number will have two rings, then it just progresses to 6 rings. That is how you identify what size the instrument is. So first is, in case if they give an image based MCQ, you should be in a position to find out what it is, whether it is Gates Glidden or piezo. Then even if you find out what it is, you should be in a position to find out which size it is by seeing the number of rings in it. Then next is you should read little bit about the working length determination. Under the radiographic method, you should know about Ingles method and what is a radiographic apex, from how you determine the working length by using a radiographic apex. Then a little bit about apex locator. Just be aware what is an apex locator and what are the generations of it. And you should know the techniques of shaping. You have a step back technique, crown down technique, and hybrid technique. So under each technique, where you do the first, like you divide the root canal into three portion, the bottommost, middle, and the coronal portion. So for step back, how the order is, and for crown down, how the order goes, and for hybrid, how the order is. That is very important. And you should read about the irrigants, sodium hypochlorite. What are the functions or the features of sodium hypochlorite? It has an antibacterial feature and a tissue dissolving property, very very important. Then EDTA, what is the mechanism? It has a calcium chelating property, so it chelates with calcium, thereby weakening the dentin structure, so the dentin becomes soft, so it is very easier to remove the inorganic material becomes soft, so it is very easy to remove the the inorganic material becomes weaker, so you can remove the organic material easily in case of an EDTA. Whereas in sodium hypochlorite, because it has a tissue dissolving property, the inorganic material, the organic material will go off easily. So you have to use EDTA and sodium hypochlorite in combination. Then you have something called as chlorhexidine. It has mainly the antibacterial activity, but the characteristic feature of chlorhexidine is a substantivity. So substantivity is when you give the irrigant, even after the usage of the irrigant, it has a prolonged antibacterial action. So compared to all the other irrigants, chlorhexidine has more antibacterial activity because of its prolonged action. So that is one important feature of it. Then you should know what is an MTAD and what is a composition of it. Only if you know the composition of it, that is more than enough. Then you should know a little bit about sodium hypochlorite accident. So if it goes beyond the apex, then you will have a sodium hypochlorite accident. Then you should know that you should not use sodium hypochlorite and chlorhexidine simultaneously, because when you use it together, it will form a precipitate. So that is important. It is contraindicated to use both together. You should rinse it and then only use it. You should not use it together. And different types of irrigation techniques. So under the irrigation technique, you have the needles. You have side vented needle and end vented needle. Then you have brushes. Sonic one, endoactivator you have, then you have ultrasonic, then pressure alteration device. Under that you have rinse endo and endovag. So at least this name, if that name is there, then you should know that this belongs to endodontic irrigation purpose. So at least if you are aware of it, it is more than enough. Then towards the obturation, you should know the composition of GP. The classical question which they ask and which everyone makes a mistake is when they ask the composition of GP, the percentage composition, though the name is GP, the percentage of GP in the GP stick is only 20%. The remaining majority of the percentage is actually zinc oxide. 66% of the composition in the GP stick is zinc oxide, because zinc oxide is a filler. Though the name is GP, the GP's percentage is very very less. That is a place where everyone makes mistake, because the moment they ask the question with the percentage, everyone will think it is GP, so GP's percentage will be more. It is wrong. The GP's percentage is less compared to the filler, which is zinc oxide. So that is one thing which you should note down. Then you have other types of obturation material, which includes the Resilon and then MTA. You should know the composition of MTA, which is very 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 important. And then the different techniques of obturation. This is a place where they can ask many image based MCQs. So you have under the thermoplasticized, you have Obtura. Under the carrier based, you have Thermafill and Simplifill. Then you have mixed pattern compactor, then custom cones. So a Thermafill looks like this, the first image, and the next one on the right side is Simplifill. The difference between them is they both are carrier based, but Thermafill, it is a complete long GP cone, whereas Simplifill, if you see, it is called as sectional obturation. So whenever in a condition where you are using post and core, you will be removing a lot of GP. So instead, if you use a Simplifill, it is only 5 mm height. So you will be only doing a sectional obturation. The remaining places you will not place GP at all. So you can immediately go for a direct post preparation and place a post in that place. And you have continuous wave electric heat plugger. Then This is called as mix pattern comparator. And this is all from image based point of view. No need to learn the mechanism and all those things. At least if they give an image, you should be in a position to find out what it is and where it is used. Then lastly, read about little bit about root canal sealers. So you have zinc oxide based sealers, which includes the classical one Grossman formula. Then you have higher calcium hydroxide based sealers, which include Apexit and Sealapex. Then glass ionomer based sealers, and then lastly you have resin based sealers, which includes AH plus and AH26. So these are the small gist about what all you should have covered from this particular topic.